Caterpillar's another fun one. 1/1 flyer with some versatility. Let's go ahead and start picking some stuff that might go into our green-black elves if it comes that way. Alright, so we'll take this into our main board. None of the rest of the cards seem very strong here, and if you'll notice, Dark Petition, this doesn't do a lot in limited format. Smash the Smithereens, you might wind up seeing some artifacts. Yeah, let's go ahead and take it. It does deal some damage. Healing Hands anyway, so there we go. If we do wind up on green-black elves, that's pretty fun. We're not going to have anything that big regularly, so no need to grab the Elemental Bond. And Night Snare's fun in green-black elves too. So let's expand this out here. We'll take the Swamp, of course. A little lag there. Alright, so let's see start with a rare here. Sigil of the Empty Throne. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, put a 4/4 white angel. I don't see us getting a lot of enchantments, so let's keep looking around here. I do like Bellows Lizard and Cobblebrute I like a lot in draft. He'd actually start rounding into our 4-drop slot, and I bet Bellows Lizard comes back around. So we'll go ahead and hold him really quick. I've actually taken some good hits off Blazing Hellhound, but at this moment, I don't think our colors are going to do us justice there. I also kind of want to take the Stalwart Aven, but I'm concerned about getting too bogged down in the 3-drop slot. Yoked Oxen would be good, just have a big butt to block at the start. Yeah, I'm going to follow my instincts and keep people playing. Angel's Tomb's fun here, and it would definitely keep with what we're working on. We got some renowned creatures, and also some little tricks here to pump up our creatures. So let's go ahead and get some of those spells running here. I kind of like that. Again, seeing some elves, green-black, Timberwolf, and Thornbow are fun. This fellow here would do us alright. Knight of the Pilgrim's Road. He's a good-sized body with renown as well. But there's a good chance that he'll come back. Let's go ahead and, you know what, we're going to grab the removal here. Anyways, some burns always fun. So it looks like we're going to be red-white aggro. So, alright. A lot of Avens come around. I need the Mighty Leap if all our dudes are flying. I think, this guy's a good finisher, so I think we're going to go here since it looks like we're going for the red-white. And we're going to need to fill out this list anyway. Alright, so here's a good big bird for us, too. Gains some life as a finisher. Gives us some big guys. Keeps with the colors we're on. So we'll grab this too here. Rosa's Champion. Fits really good in here, but the other choice that's big is Lightning Javelin. And removal generally is very strong and important when you're playing in a limited format, especially when it's dealing 3 damage to creature or player. So that'll keep us pretty safe on the backside. So let's go ahead and grab that here. We'll move all these over. And this guy. Alright. Subterranean Scout, get some evasion back on us. Also is a cheap guy to start filling out our curve. I love Oromancer, but I feel like it's a little late to be going into it since we haven't really had an opportunity to pick up much of the enchantments. I've seen some really strong showings from it on the people who do build around it. Same with this guy right here. So I think we're going to start filling in our curve so we can start dropping guys proper. We'll grab the Subterranean Scout. Feeling the Smash to Smithereens at this point. Generally, I don't choose to mainboard Artifact Hate, and that's just because unless you're running into the right builds, you're not going to see enough artifacts to make these relevant. So my second choice here would be the Healing Hands. Drawing a card and gaining life is always fun. So we'll take that for now and hope that the Healing Hands, or the Smash the Smithereens comes back around. Alright, part of me wants to hate draft the Shaman here. He's pretty good size. Hurts us again back to the green-black elves. I think that was pretty well open. We do have Might of the Masses here. Crow and Jailer is a good one-drop, actually. So you can get rid of some dudes. So let's go and take him and treat him like removal. Oh, look, and there's Mr. Bell's Lizard back anyway. Sigil, unfortunately, is again another enchantment-based, and we're definitely too deep in at this point to go that direction. I'm not usually a fan of the 0x blockers. Luckily, he's not a defender, so he could get bigger, but I want to go a little more aggressive. Ah, Cobble Brute came back to us. So he could be fine here. Yeah, let's go and get a big guy and see how it goes here. I like the Jailer as an option, but I want to make our high end a little more robust. Mighty Leap's a fine spell to fill out our removal, fix our curve, and also could come in handy to win some games. These three are really not on color, so we'll just go ahead and take them all. Oh, Ox came to us anyway, but I'm kind of wanting to get rid of the Gorger, just so we don't have to worry about some big guys hitting us later on. I'll get the Slug and a Forest. Alright, so looking at the deck, it looks like we have a pretty good round out of creatures and colors. What is this here? Town of the Telepath. I generally try to avoid these type of spells in Limited. I just don't feel like it's fast or powerful enough to make a huge impact. Vigilance and Renown is pretty good, though. Again, there's that Blazing Hellhound. I'm sure there's going to be a red-black player hitting us somewhere during this matchup, so we'll have to wait and see. So I'm feeling the Freeblade. Yeah, we need some more drops. Now this is a fun enchantment if we decide to go that way. Same with Infectious Blood. And shrouding this is a good way to also protect and pump our guys. And Rogue's Passes would give us some evasion. So let's see here. Since we are playing two colors, that is a downside to Rogue's Passage. And it looks like it costs 4 to activate. So we're going to want to be more aggressive than that. I think I'm feeling the Renowned Vigilance over worrying about any tricks. We'll just hope Enshrouding this comes around or another pump spell. It looks like we're pretty done on creatures, though. Active Treason's fun. If you do wind up getting outpowered by somebody, it is a good way to take advantage of that and bring it back into your favor, because you just take their big guys. Sanctum, not a favorite in draft. If we were on green, Alpha's really good. And again, there's that Oromancer popping up. So it looks like our choice here is Boggart Brute or Subterranean Scout. And at this point, I'm thinking I've seen the Brute do most damage in matchups, so we'll have to just smooth things out here shortly. We want to probably start going for some evasion. I'd kind of like the Majoring Bully from right here, right now. Just to get to pump him up, also to get a big dude that could do some extra damage. But I think that we need to go ahead and take the spells to pump everything bigger. So I'm going to go with the Mighty Leap, I think. Mr. Bellows Lizard comes back. So does our Active Treason. Alrighty here. If you've followed our channel at all, we do plan to be adding some more stuff later on. some additional games, a lot of diversity if we can help it. Let's go and grab this guy here. I almost got the mermaid just as a hate draft there. Oh, well, here we go. Rorosa's champion came back to us in another pack. But yeah, we plan to try to keep it diverse, get some games, maybe some requests. So we'll have some more of that stuff coming up later. Valor of Akros could be a good way to pump up our creatures passively. And I feel like Pricklebore at this point is a little big. But he does have First Strike. So let's go with some spells. We got a lot of creatures. Generally, I wouldn't go with something like this, but I feel like it's, at this point, beneficial to us to start getting that stuff out of the way. I'm going to take Smash to Smithereens here as well for some more damage. And go ahead and sideboard those at this point. Healing Hands is another good option. I like drawing life, gaining life and drawing cards. But I think this will have a bigger impact potentially and give us some diversity. Most of our guys are pretty little. This guy gets big, but I think he's served his purpose. Let's go ahead and grab him just in case we need to round out our curve. I like some aggressive one drops. We'll take that. Alright, let's hate draft this guy just so we don't get burnt out by killing our little guys. Subtraining back anyway. Touch of Moonglow is pretty fun. I've had some luck with that in the past. You know, let's go ahead and hate draft this removal here. Whenever an creature an opponent controls dies, put a 1/1 counter on Malakir Coldblade. He could get pretty gross. Infernal Scarring's fun. Let's go ahead and take the Coldblade as well. So we're doing a little bit of hate draft here. It also opens us up to pick up some colors if we need to. So we could obviously splash into Mardu if we wanted to. See what... Yep, just a land. Alright, so it looks like if we can just smooth this out here a little bit, cut down a few cards with the suggested 40-card draft size, I think we have a good curve set here. So the first thing I'll do is cut the Smash to Smithereens, hold those back in case we run into somebody running a particularly large amount of artifacts. Otherwise, it's just going to be dead in our hands. Let's see here. Preview screen was up, but yeah, that's a good buff. So I like the Avens and the Brute. So I'm going to take one of the Healing Hands out, just so we don't get bogged down too much. Stay on our aggressive plays. Alright, looks like we need about probably 3 more. We'll run a little bit lower on the mana curve, just because we do curve out pretty low. Probably don't need as many Mighty Leaps. We want to hit some creatures to actually play them on. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get my... In order to avoid messing with my video settings, I don't want to minimize this too much here, move too much around, so I'll just pull it out so I can see what it does. Yeah, that one's fine. So we want to keep these guys. We're going to want to cut towards the top end. Yeah, he's fine. The picture will probably come out here. Yeah, we don't need that. That'll be sideboard as well. Wonder if we could just cut this second healing hands. Just go for a really aggressive build at first. That'd be interesting. The 3 Stalwart Avens. Probably unnecessary. So we had a bigger body. These guys get bigger. This is a tough one. I feel like right now we don't need that one. I do like him a lot, and I've lost games to it and won games from it. But I think we want to keep these smaller evasive creatures with large field effects if we can. Aside from the draw, I'm just feeling like that's not going to be that effective main board, and it's something I'll probably add in later. This keeps us nice and aggro, so I think that's a good balance we have here. So we go 16. Normally it's suggested to go 17 lands. However, I think in this situation, because we do round out pretty low, and the bulk of this will be played at the lower mana cost, I think the 16 will work probably best. I think while we're waiting, so I'll go ahead and submit this. And while we're waiting, I'm going to go ahead and put the chat menu so I can see what people are talking about at the moment. I'm going to pull it up on a separate device just so that this way this will all stay going. Again, this is our first test run of running Magic. It is a little bit different, so bear with us if there's any technical difficulties. We're just now kind of getting used to how to have the system set up. It looks like we do have a couple viewers as well, so welcome, and if you've said anything again, I'm sorry I missed you. I'm going to try to get things pulled up really quick here. We log in on here. Alright, so it should be only a moment here. We have our technical support slash the primary soul of Vicarious Gamers looking at it right now. So he's going to get that set up, just so we can keep in touch with you guys and see what's going on while we wait here. So we do have a few minutes while the rest of the players finish deck building. And on that note, we'll play this first match and just see how it goes. At the sideboard, we may find ourselves swapping these out, which is where the purpose of the sideboard serves anyway. So for now, most of our Magic cast should be kept to somewhat of a minimum. We will be doing more as we go, working on more formats and whatnot. And we will do our best to make sure that we not only give you some entertainment and discussion, but also some pointers there. So while we're waiting on the chat room to get set up and everything, I will mention that I found Origins to be a pretty aggressive limited format, which is why I'm shooting for the low curve, high effect creatures at the moment, and then of course removal. We will be doing a Battle for Zendikar draft at some point, but right now we're still getting used to the format. It is very different for me as a player because it's not my typical play style. So it looks like the timer's winding down there. looks like we have one of our regulars watching us at the moment too, so welcome back. We'll be just about ready to get started here anytime now. Alright, so it looks like we're getting started. Cool, picked up an extra viewer, so that's always good. Alright, starting on the draw. Our deck definitely wants to be starting on the play, but that's alright. You can't win them all. Got to rely on a little bit of luck here as well. Alright, so let's see if this is a keeper. We've got all our colors. We've got some creatures on curve, plus a big hitter. I think I like this a lot, so I'm going to actually keep that. We get this guy out early, maybe get some hits in, and then drop this cat. So we'll go ahead and keep that there. Alright, Forest, in my opinion, one of the more threatening of the first turn plays. Cool. Yeah, so on the draw, we're at least keeping with our curve. I would like to see a 2-drop, but that doesn't always happen. So we're going to go ahead and plains and drop this guy right here. Jailer gives us an early drop, and we'll go ahead and yield out. A little bit of a MTGO freak out moment. So it looks like this guy is the one I was worried about that got to play with the elves like I like. So we'll see who's tougher. Alright, so we're still on our strong 3. So let's go and keep our colors a little bit of a secret for him. And we'll start pumping some damage. Now some people would want to keep that for a combat trick. I want to just go ahead and get straight to the point for now. Pretty good. Right on. So yeah, it looks like we're definitely facing some ramp. Lots of elves there pumping things up. So we'll see if we can... I think we can keep ourselves pretty defended here. Alright. So the concern here is Royal Champion, because it does have double strike, is a fine blocker to help us with Undercity Troll. The concern is there's a really good chance they probably have a pump spell. So we'll want to definitely be careful watching out for that. Okay, so kind of a pump spell. Okay. Right on, as expected. So we'll have to eat a little damage here. But I'm alright with that. And he is going to stay a little bit bigger too, so. But we'll just hope we can get rid of him here soon. So we are in a strong spot. So let's go ahead and see if we can just keep the damage going. Let's try to outrun them. we'll swing both. Worst case, we're going to wind up trading a dude. Best case, he wants to keep his options open. Yeah, it's alright. Fair enough. Definitely got to applaud their mana curve, and their build is definitely solid. Eat a little more damage here, but I think we're winning the race. We'll go ahead and keep that guy up. We'll take the 5. Sometimes you just gotta know when to suck it up and take some damage. Alright, so get some extra beats in. Start pumping things up here. Yeah, you know what? I like this option here. We'll just hold out and hope that we can get a good alpha strike in. Alright. Alright, so he's going to go for it. So we're definitely not going to be able to stop this here. So we could slow down his dorks, save a little bit of damage. Trade off here to slow things down as well. Fair enough. And that happens. But that's alright. Not sure why he's over here. Alright. So it didn't quite go in our favor. But that's alright. So what could we improve? I think primarily just playing a little safer. They got a little rash there. Definitely wasn't feeling... I suppose if we got it right on time. Valor and Akros was not bad. Just happened to get played at the wrong time. A little bit slow for what we want to do. Trade artifacts. He's not using too many artifacts either. So that's not going to help us out necessarily. Yo, let's go ahead and try it out one more and see how it goes. Alright, that'll work. We get a little removal, early drop, some big guys. And we're on the play, so we'll get that extra turn ahead there. I'm a big fan of Bellows Lizard when he gets an opportunity to do his business. Alright, getting some mana. Means we can get, looks like we get some damage in and have some mana ready for some removal coming up soon and get our next big hitter out when we get the shot. So that's a good early drop that I like, especially when I get a chance to pump him up and start getting some damage in with him. Bellows Lizard can definitely be a champion. Alright, so he's starting out with the ramp again. So fair enough. Also works as a blocker, so that ain't too bad of a choice. Alrighty. Our mana here. We definitely don't want to attack into the Leaf Gilder, or do we? Slow him down on his ramp. So let's see if he'll take the bait. So we'll just treat Bellows Lizard like a burn spell here. So do we pump, or do we add our flyer? Well, let's just let him take the one for now. We'll get our flyer in the game here. I won't mind hitting the Leaf Gilder with this, though we might wind up just wanting to hit the player, but I am always all for killing mana dorks. Oh, even better target. Alright. Shadow Spirit is going to be really fun here in a turn or about 2 turns. So let's see what we rip off the top. Fun. Alright. So we're going to go ahead and slow things down and clear our path. I do like the Mighty Leap, but we'll save that for when we get a shot to deal some extra. Plus this will set us up on our next draw. Bellows Lizard. Extra body could be fun. Plus it gives me some options. But I think I'd like to keep seeing some spells. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep this guy. Now we got better stuff. Wants to keep his creatures alive and keep his pressure on the board going. Some more elves. So he is definitely concerned about getting some blocks in. And get a little damage while he's at it. Alright. So I think this is going to be the obvious play here. Deal some damage to him, clear the board, get some more damage in. So let's see. Looks like he is pondering. If you haven't had a chance yet, definitely check out our back catalog with Prison Architect. It's a lot of fun. And for some reason, I really enjoy watching it. Definitely different and interesting. It is through our other player on the channel. And he definitely does a good job on those type of sim games and building games. Unfortunately for me, I just don't have the patience to keep up with it. It gets a little fast-paced and intense for me. So this is the way we want it to play. So fingers crossed that it just keeps going in our favor. Although sitting at 5 mana is definitely a good spot to be. Alright, so it looks like we're in a spot to definitely get some damage in too. So we don't want to get cocky though. We'll wait and see what he does in response. We can pump the Bellows Lizard twice and still get our Goblin into play. Alright, so it looks like he might have tricks up his sleeve still. Right on. So there we go. I think our current build is strong. I know there might be some things sideboarding, but I just don't know if they're going to have as big of impact as so much as just keeping the right hands and playing with the right cards. It would kind of like another Mighty Leap to get that evasion through, or pump us to save us against some of his creatures if they get too big. So let's set this here. I feel like 2 Mighty Leaps is pretty good. We definitely want to keep our 1-drops so we can keep that early pressure on. Yeah, you know what? We're going to get rid of the enchantment, and we're going to go for the Mighty Leap. Just speed things up a touch and also give us more versatility since it's an instant and it's a bit cheaper. So looks like we did pick up a few more viewers. Welcome to the show. This is a really fun starting hand. It just curves out really nice. We're going to keep a lot of heavy pressure, so we're going to keep that and just hope that we're in a better spot than our opponent here. Mulliganing early is definitely going to be rough for him. Our opponent definitely looks like they're on the ramp game, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're trying to find some extra ramp. Alright. So far, so good. That's what we like to see. So we're going to go for the Renown play here. We want to get the Goblin big. And we'll worry about the Bellows Lizard later on. Tough spot to be in for our opponent, it looks like. So we'll get our land out. We'll feign the combat tricks. Not a lot they could probably do with just a green up, though. So we'll keep on the Renown play. Two lands, monocolor. Yep, tough spot to be in. So we'll play another red. Again, we're going to kind of feign the combat tricks and just hope that our opponent doesn't try to wipe out our creatures. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything they could possibly have. Right? Let's get our double striker into play here. The other option definitely would have been the Topin here and the Bellows Lizard, but I want to go for try to get the big plays in while I can. Alright, so our opponent's got their planes finally. Ah, Mana Gorger Hydra. This gets really quick, but let's hope that we can get him out of the way before that happens. So right now we're really wanting to rip off a burn from the top if we can. Otherwise, it doesn't look like we'll be attacking anytime or casting spells anytime soon, just to keep him slowed down. When I first started playing this set, I did learn the hard way. Just gets so big so fast. It's really easy. I misread it, and I didn't realize it was casting any spell, so it left me in a bad spot. Yeah, and as expected, they want to keep the Gorger up just to try to get a big creature on the table, and that is definitely understandable. Three mana, I don't see him getting more than maybe 2 spells off this turn. If they've got the right hand, which judging by their mana situation earlier, I doubt it. But we can wait and see. Okay, so we're looking at 1 spell. We're still in an okay position. Oh, good spell though. Okay. It's a big dude. Basically a kill spell. Alright, so here we're definitely in a little bit of a tighter spot. So let's see if he's willing to trade. Highly doubt it, but it is a possibility. So I think we're safe enough that we should go ahead and get the Boggart out now, because I just guarantee he's damage through, even if the Hydra is big. If we hit a mana, we're good. So I think this is a fine spot to be in. So let's just hope he doesn't kill our Boggart. Yep, right on. There we go. So that is our first win. So looks like we do have one match in progress. So we'll give it sit here a minute. So it looks like there is two of us logged in online on the same account. So the beats are happening. My channel partner, it looks like he's ready for me to get a little aggro out there. Right on. So that wasn't even too long of a wait. So we're in a good position. We basically are just hoping to avoid anything with large amounts of removal, since our creatures are small, and also to avoid anything with large creatures, because again, our creatures are small. We do have a lot of evasive techniques, so we'll just hopefully rely on those and see how this next match goes. What we're really looking for, though, is the control matchup, the poor player who made the mistake of going control, and I think we can outspeed him. So it looks like during the wait we did lose a few players. Probably wasn't talking enough at the time, but it is a little bit difficult to comment on a ticking clock. So I do know that makes a lot of you feel like you're at work or class, but bear with us. But I will say that I am happy to see that we have gotten quite a few views on this video. It looks like it is one of our highest so far. And it does look like we still have a viewer or two sitting in queue as well. While we're waiting, though, we do want to announce we do plan to try in the future to integrate live play as well. We do things like role-playing games such as D&D, Pathfinder, games. So if that's something you're interested in, feel free to subscribe. We'll definitely play first. Our deck loves that. Feel free to subscribe and give us some suggestions. So I'm really not a big fan of Mulligan. We have enough to ride out a couple turns and hope we're faster. I would have liked to see a white in this, any white source, but having a turn one play and the ability to buff him, and then hopefully, since we do have the turn ahead advantage, we might see a white off the top. So I'm going to go ahead and risk keeping this and see how it goes. If anything, for at least the aggro play. Comedically, a lot of people may be wondering why I keep mentioning aggro. And I just feel like it's important in this particular limited format. In my normal constructed play, I generally prefer combo or mid-range, or tempo is my favorite, depending on which format I'm in. Okay, so we did not see our white source. We're going to head with the aggressive lizard beats from here. So we're going to attack with the lizard. And since there's no responses, we'll go ahead and pump him up a touch. Big lizards are always fun. Alright, that's a pretty ugly thing to be seeing on the other side of the board. So we'll definitely going to want to see some white sources off the top here. We got to start getting around that, through it, possibly tapping him. things aren't not quite where we want to be. So first striker, we're not going to be attacking into that for sure. Yeah, our lizard would die. So we'll go ahead and drop our land, and we'll pass on and hope for the best. Maybe he'll take this as an opportunity to attack us next turn. Alright, so we're playing blue-white. This archetype is very handy when it comes to tricks and evasion. So I'm fine eating 2 for now if we have to. Alright. So with all this red on the board, we just need to see some burn spells at the very least. Okay. So here... So we're going to go ahead and take the guy out of the equation for a turn. Might as well use his ability. Would have been nice, though, if we had a way to pump him up, but I kind of just wanted the extra body out for now. Get a little damage in while we can. Oh, and I clicked the wrong thing, so mistakes were made. Yep, misread that. So it happens. So we'll just keep rolling on. So 2 big renowned creatures on the other side of the board definitely is not feeling comfortable. If we get on white, we'd be in a much better position. Alright, it's gonna be a painful turn, so we'll just bear through it. Looks like he's worried with the 1 red up. Yeah. It's a really good start for our opponent here. We can block, we're going to lose some dudes, so we're going to be set back a little bit. So we'll take this big hit and see if we can get somewhere. Oh, if you're just tuning in, welcome. Rough time to be starting viewing this game, as we're in kind of a bad predicament. So we've been stuck on red. There was a little bit of a misplay earlier, and we're still on red. So best thing we're probably going to do is want to hold... so we can pump him twice, which will get us to 3. So we could get rid of this fellow here. And if we hold him for a blocker, the trigger here is going to go ahead and pump him up. So it's not going to do us any good anyway. So I think at this spot, we're going to have to just attack with the Bellows Lizard and hope that he does block somewhere. And so, again, using Bellows Lizard as a burn spell. So, noting 4 turns of dropping red, probably should have mulliganed for our secondary color. So we'll get some damage in. We can survive 1 more round. I'm pretty sure he's got this one. Luck is a reality when you're playing these type of games. So good luck and bad luck. Okay, that's it. So they got it right there. So we'll concede it. Recognize he won the game. So good job. So, again, I'm very disappointed by having this card in hand. I feel like it's just too big. Healing Hands would probably be okay, but I feel like it's too low impact. And I still feel like it's a little too slow. Because we're going to want to go faster. And they're not running artifacts. So there's really no point there. So we'll bring it down, speed things up, and definitely look to keep more mana-savvy hand. Like this one. This is good. This is what we wanted to see. Boggart's going to be really good here. The odds of our opponent ever... It doesn't look like they're going to outspeed us so much as they're going to be dropping a few big guys that pump each other up. So I think we'll be in a position that Boggart's going to be a pretty strong choice against this opponent. Okay, so cracking response, sure. So I could pump here, but I'd rather get our Vigilance and Renowned creature online. So we'll just squeeze a little damage in, scare him a little bit, and drop this. Especially while the blue is offline. Alright. So same thing, we'll keep the colors up in case our opponent underestimates the damage here. Alright, so here we're going to go ahead and get our Boggart out if we can. Cool. So the pressure is on. Looks like we picked up a few more players again. That first strike's a big deal. Alright. And we'll let it roll. So we do got a strong first striker out, but we got a menace creature and a vigor creature. So I think online. Don't see a lot of ways that he's going to be able to kill these guys. He could kill this because of the first strike. So we're gonna want to go ahead and just swing with the two big fellows. Because menace, they can't be blocked except by two or more creatures. Let's keep the pressure rolling here. We can still pump Bellows Lizard at least once if we need to, but we shouldn't be facing any situation where that'll be relevant right now. Alright, looks like we picked up some more players. Welcome to the video. This is our first Magic the Gathering online stream. We're doing Origins as I'm a little more familiar with it. We will be planning to do BFZ later. We've had a little bit of luck so far, good and bad. So we'll see what we can do from here. Alright, so it's going to be a pretty painful turn. But actually, I'm a little bit surprised he swung. So I think we could get it almost fatal next turn. So we'll take the damage and hope for the best. Alright, so we got a couple activations, so we can finish off that Amprin if we need to. Or swing around and just throw the damage on the lizard that's going to get through. So it looks like he is going to have to block here, yeah. So block the safe bet. So we'll activate the lizard here twice. So our opponent is in a tough spot. We should have this one. Boggart will be the hero again. So it's interesting, we drafted so many flyers, but we really haven't seen any of action. Okay, so we're going to lose a creature, so that's, yeah, the Boggart, definitely a good call. However, if he swings here, he's going to have to keep a blocker up. But we should still be able to pump enough around. So it looks like he's banking on getting rid of something, maybe. Alright, so let's go. And as my partner said, let's bring on the beats. Alright, cool. I'm worried, the memory for encyclopedic knowledge of the set. So, part of me was worried there might be a little 2-drop white trick he could have pulled off, but don't think there's much in this limited format that could have taken care of that. So I like the setup we have. We're going to go and submit rolling and hope for a good starting hand again. Yep, and we're looking good. So we'll just keep the aggression running and hope that we can get some hits in early enough to be effective. Alright. So, some white in play. Probably hold on to that and try to get some more creatures in play. So let's see what he does this turn. Oh, alright, that's what I was looking for. And certainly, good play. And that is why you do not put all your chickens in one basket. Or eggs. Depends on the size of the chickens, I suppose. Okay. Water courses are a really good call. So I can see where the blue is important now. Yeah, that's going to be a problem. Luckily, we do have a few tricks up our sleeve. Alright, so we're going to get our double air game into play here. Be very easy to Mighty Leap here. And just swing some damage over and get things started. But I want to get my Stalwart Aven into play now, so we can start early. Because we can always play around this if we need to. Yeah, so I think that's the right choice. And we will let you have it. Yep, that's pretty good. Being pretty surprised, however, if he winds up attacking with Water Courser. I'd see it usually as a blocking creature. Okay. I will... I'll eat 3 to get rid of a blocker. Alright, fantastic. Yeah, I think this is where we're going to want to start playing our tricks. So I see Emprin becoming a blocker for sure. Bold move if not. Yep. So we kill his dude. It's one of those moments where I was torn between playing it early enough to just fly over it, or do I get rid of it? I think this keeps us on the right tempo. We missed the Renown trigger off him, but that's alright. So we're forcing our opponent to have to go back on the defense. And we will throw this for backup. Alright. Got a little technical malfunction there, so we'll allow the combat to ride. Right now, sitting on 1 blue is not a spot he probably wants to, our opponent wants to be in. So, all right, so this is fun. So the option here is swing all out. We lose a creature, but we can replace 2 creatures. And one of the other creatures that remains will get renowned. So I think we're going to go for a big strike. With as much mana as our opponent has available, it is a little risky. But let's see how it plays out. Yeah, okay. So we're going to lose 1 to that. And they're going to block 1. And pump, yep. Alright. That was unfortunate, but it does happen. So we got our little Bellows in here. He's a good buddy. And another bird to get some momentum going. So we are still in a strong position. But we do have no cards in hand. They've probably noticed. I've been watching our opponent sitting at 3. Okay, so kills another bird. Good. Good play. Alright, so Cobble Brute's out here. So let's fight. The question just now becomes who can put on the most pressure and recover. So you can pump once. So we kill the water courser. Or do we let the lizard die? We need to kill the water courser. Yep. If you're wondering, if we left the water courser up and got the Cobble Brute out, he's still going to be able to take him out. So we want to keep a nice clear board. But at this point, we've seen a lot of creatures and tricks. Hoping some removal. Yeah, especially now. Interesting. So there's no point attacking. Or do we try to trick him? Keep up the red and hope that he blocks. Because it's not going to hurt us. And he only has the 1 mana up now. So we'll go ahead and do it. Hope that we've got our opponent scared enough that they'll not block. With 2 cards in hand, it is pretty dangerous for him. Because the Ring Warden is going to be a win con for him. Yep, and as I hoped, we scared him a little bit. Alright, so we've got our opponent back to the necessary blocking. 2 cards in hand. Pretty good chunk of mana available, however. We've already seen some good removal pop up. Alright, yeah, right on. So we really want to see a leap off the next draw. That would definitely give us the evasion we were looking for. Being tied at life, I feel like we're in a better spot, though, with the cards available. Not now. Alright, so we're going to just hang back and do a little bit, get our little damage in here and there. So they're going to race us. They're going to be netting 1 more over us per turn on damage. But keeping this fellow up here, we have a good shot of getting some damage in. We swing with him, almost guaranteed to block. No, we'll lose the race. That's it's very unfortunate. So yeah, it looks like the right choice would have been to go ahead and get him out there. This is going to set us way back. You're about a turn late. So we're going to hold it and hope to get rid of that owl. Ooh. Yep, and that's it. Fair enough. So we played it a little safe there. It is unfortunate. We probably should have just went for some of the hits and hoped that he would either have blocked, lost a creature. Um, but, you know, with what information you have, you can only make the best choice you can. Alright, so we are looking to hopefully pull off a win on this next one to stay in it. Alright. And if you're just tuning in, we do thank you for stopping by. This is our first MTGO stream on Twitch. And we do plan to do some more in the future, so we're kind of just getting used to things, working out, talking to everyone, and also working out the proper way to stream everything. So if there are any issues, let us know. We will be doing other stuff. You will find that we tend to do some indie games. That is my partner on the channel. But we will be bringing some other larger titles in the future, so we'll have some more announcements on that later. Alright, so first, this is a good start with a solid hand. So, probably in the previous games, I probably should have kept a little more removal. But I was looking for the aggressive play. But I think this time we'll play on the safe side. It's a little bit of expensive of a spell, but if we do wind up with the mana, and we have a few turns to get there, with a little way to protect ourselves and get some damage in, I think this could be very valuable to us. Alright. So let's start this show here. And pass it on. Okay. So another green deck, so that's good. And we also hit our mana on curve, so that's also really good news for us. We have a little something to play on almost every turn. Elves. Yep, green, black. So, this is going to be a very beneficial card. The Chandra. I think it's Chandra's Fury. Now, Boggart against this is going to be actually pretty great as well. So I think... Interesting. So it's very unlikely they'll give up their mana dork, so we will go ahead and attack. If we lose them, it's not a big deal. Oh. It would be nice to slow down their mana, however. But I think we want to get more damage in for now and save this guy. Okay. And as expected, they do not want to lose their mana dork. So let's go with Boggart. We're going to have a better get the damage in. With Elves, there's a possibility we'll see some potential double blocks. So it may not have been the right choice, but let's see. So trying to bait us, we'll take the 2. The beautiful thing here is that's going to negate the potential to double block on us. Yeah, so it looks like he's just trying to get some damage in. So we'll just keep rolling around here. Some mana up, that could be a problem, so we'll see. So this will be the point we want to go ahead and play. Yeah, we can get a lot out here. So this is a good run for now. So we could get a potential 9 damage in. Oh, yeah, we'd get him down to 1 next turn. So let's hope that it stays as such. Looks like they're stuck a little bit on what they can play. Well, that is a lot of mana available. So 4 dropper, interesting. With only a single black. Can't be too devastating for us. To think here, looks like. Aha. Alright, that's fine. We'll throw some cards there. See what we lost here. Mountain of Plains. A couple little guys, alright. So it looks like we're definitely getting some damage. So I think we want to keep the pressure up. So let's start the pressure here so they're aware that if they do block, they are losing their centaur. No matter... cut a few guys out, but... more than likely going to block a 1-1. Oh, interesting. So, okay, he knows he's going to lose it anyway. We don't have quite high enough damage to get past it, so we're going to lose our double striker. That's alright, though. Probably would have been a good idea to get our flyer in play. But at this point, we can start tapping down creatures and start playing a little more conservatively. Alright, some more people logged in. Welcome to the show. So far, so good. So let's see how it goes from here. So a good clean board makes me happy. Holding 7 cards, interesting. Must have just had a lot of land. So, if you've been watching since the start, Valor Nacros has just been really too expensive, too slow, and not enough impact. Mighty Leap's been my only real sideboard in most of these situations. It's really saved our butts. I haven't run into needing healing hands yet, so fingers crossed we'll just keep some luck flowing. Alright, so it looks like our opponent's taking a minute to do some sideboarding. And as long as it goes similar, if we can just keep the speed, the high amounts of pressure on, I think we've got this one. Alright, so this is unfortunately not playable, so we're going to mulligan that. Looks like we're hitting some luck. Some bad luck. This is not optimal, but I really don't want to go lower, and we can at least play with what we have. That is not what we want on top right now. So let's hope that we get a land, red preferably in its place. If we can hit a red by turn 3, we'll be happy. So far, never. Okay. So it looks like their curve is rolling good. So we definitely need to see a red sometime soon. Okay, so we got some more Mighty Leap. Let's go ahead and get this guy in play. And we'll just keep going for the Mighty Leap game, it looks like. We might be able to beat him to death with one creature. Facing, yeah, that's pretty big. And stuff in the graveyard, maybe he'll dig us out a red source. Or get rid of a red source for us, that's a little rough. We really want to stay on curve here. But we're just going to have to play it as best we can. So, we're going to go ahead and give him flying now to avoid the blocking situation. If we need to kill the centaur later, we can. Using another Mighty Leap. It's really not the play I'm looking for, though. Because this deck wants to stay as the aggressor the whole time. Plus triggering off the Renown, now he's got a little bit bigger body to survive if we need to. So next turn we could effectively get 5 in at the cost of only 4. Okay, so we got a Reacher, so we are going to be facing a rough situation. And this is fine, we like that guy. Alright. So he's going to play on the defense, which we like. Alright, so here's the situation. We really want to see some red. We're just not. So we'll get this land into play. And I think we're going to have to just go ahead and take care of that spider. No, I think here we're going to have to go on the defense. We need to wait and hold that up in case we have to block something or kill something big. And just wait and hope we hit a red at some point or another. We are at this point outnumbered. That's big. Okay. Good thing we kept up that Mighty Leap. There's a lot of 4-body creatures on the table. Still no red source. Alright, we're going to need to wait at least a turn before we play anything but the Mighty Leap. Starting off 2 cards short, not having any red is definitely a problem. Alright, so we're going to get the big guy. Oh, we miss. So, we're going to block here. We wanted to kill the flyer, but I needed to cast that at the attacker phase. I missed that, unfortunately, but we can do this. Definitely 6 foot right now. Oh, yeah, this is might be pretty well and over. Okay. Yep. Alright, so we're we're in a position we're gonna have to just concede this one out. I'm not seeing a red spot. The beautiful thing is now we can throw in a little more removal. So we can cut a Mighty Leap, toss in a Smash the Smithereens. We can also cut... We want to keep our big guys if we can get there. I haven't even seen them in this game at all. I think we can cut a Bellows Lizard for a Smash the Smithereens. This is it. This will be the last match, so winner takes all. If you are fresh to the room, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We definitely want to play. Alright, so we are... Ooh, this is a dangerous one. We got a lot of big bodies that are costly. We could risk it and hope to hit our Boggart on curve, getting a Bellow Lizard out with some pump and leaps. Because these guys will be really good evasion when we get there. Yeah. You know, I kind of, after our luck with our mulligans, I kind of want to stick with this. I think we just have better luck playing with at least a playable hand. We really good. We definitely didn't want to see. Okay, cool. So we're rocking. We definitely didn't want to see any elves on turn one. The slower their mana curve out is, the better for us. So, all right. So it looks like no responses. Good. So we've got a good turn ahead of the opponent here. If I can get the Boggart out, they do have an opportunity to get a second blocker down. It is going to slow them down a touch, though. Alright, so they have one creature out. Cool, so we keep going with the mana. So we're on curve. We're doing good. We're going to send the Lizard out. We want to clear the Boggart's path. So we kind of want to see the Gilder block. It's highly doubtful, though. Alright, so no blocks. As to be expected. So we get the here. We need to, we do have that Mighty Leap in hand to get that damage through. We just really want to keep the pressure on the opponent here. 4 mana, yep. That's fine. Point. I'm really tired of seeing that Centaur. It's kind of a pain, but that means we only have one blocker. We can pump and kill. I think we're in a good spot. Alright, so we're going to go to combat. Here we kind of do want to see him block with the Centaur. We can double pump the Lizard, killing the Centaur, getting it out of the way to keep him on one blocker at a time. We also wouldn't mind hitting the Cobble Brute, though. It's just a really big creature. Or we can Mighty Leap and save the... Yeah, we'll save our Lizard. So we didn't give him the flying, but it's going to keep him alive. No, it's not. Shoot. So we're still going to have to pump him anyway, so that's fine. Do we not have enough mana there? What am I missing? 2. Okay, we're good. So we did save the Lizard. Alright. So I apologize for that moment of confusion there. Just got a little bit stuttered on what's actually happening. Yeah, so it looks like he is looking to get that double block in play. So we definitely want to see something. We get a 6-dropper. Really want to keep the pressure on here, so we got to figure out how we want to do this. There's a good shot we're going to lose the Boggart. But we don't want to let them get much further with the amount of mana they have left. So I think we're going to slow down. And let them go on the aggressive. So we can get some creatures in and overwhelm a touch. Cool. So now we're in a good spot. Hopefully. Most likely they're going to hold up the mana. Yeah, that's fine as well. 4 blockers to keep themselves alive. But I think we can get a pretty clean trade across here in a minute. Alright, so we'll take the 2. So he's got a little bit of a clock on us. Alright. So this buys us a little more time. We can drop in the Aven and start our clock better. She's definitely big enough to survive. Gains us a little life. 6. And gives us a flying blocker. So right now we are blocking on our terms. But they do have some more cards in hand. Yeah. So that's pretty good play. So it's going to be a race here to just see who can get by the best. Yep. Alright, sweet. So, what do we kill? Well, I've got to think about this for a minute here. We got to make sure we see the most value for this hit. I'm sitting on a bunch of 2/2s. Start clearing things out, I think. So, I mean, we've got up to 3 damage we can deal here. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and see if we can clear out their board for the most part. So we're going to swing out. So at this point, it's not going to do any good to sit back. We already know they're going to outnumber us quickly. Alright, so Lizard. Okay. So. So we're going to get rid of this first, followed by that. Get rid of the big guy. So we'll activate him one more time. And then we will activate this guy once. So we're going to assign the most new. 0. I'm going to make that 1. I guess it's not going to let me, so that's fine. So interesting spot we're both in now. Okay. A lot of 2/2s. Except we got a flyer that's pretty good size, so I think we can win this race. And I can start killing things off with the lizard here. So he is going to put us on a little bit of a clock too, so he knows that. Or she. Yep. I'm starting the clock early. That's going to... So 5-turn clock for us, 4-turn clock for the opponent. So we really need to rip some of our removal or tricks off the top. And we are not seeing artifacts this time, so... We'll attack with these guys. Oh, he's still got his Reacher too. So that's fine, I guess. Ah, this is rough. So we wait. That's a rough one. That will change for sure. Alright, Bellows Lizard, it's all you. Alright, Alpha Strike. Gotta take it. Very late to the game here, fellow. I think this is sadly too little too late. Yep. Unfortunately, there's really not a highly beneficial move for us here. So we'll get rid of the Mana Dork. So this would have been a time the Volcanic Elemental would have been nice. Yeah, let's see what we got here, but I think they got it. Yep. So that is that. So we won a few packs, had some fun. Crap packs, in fact. We hit our first stream of MTGO on our channel. Definitely join us again in the